Festival books. Dutch. Feestboeken. Spanish. Libros de festivos. Are books, often illustrated, that commemorate a notable event such as a royal entry, coronation or wedding. Funerals were also commemorated in similar fashion. The genre thrived in Renaissance and early modern Europe, where rulers utilized the form to both document and embellish displays of wealth and power. Description. Large numbers were produced, often surviving in very few copies. The largest collection, in the British Library, has over 2,000 examples. Originally manuscripts, often illustrated, compiled for print a city. With the arrival of print they were frequently published, varying in form from short pamphlets describing the order of events, and perhaps recording speeches, to lavish books illustrated with woodcuts or engravings showing the various tableaux, often including a fold-out panorama of the procession, curling to and fro across the page. The pamphlets were ephemera, a printed description of 2 leaves describing the entry of Ferdinand II of Aragon into Valladolid, 1513, survives in a single copy at Harvard, because it was bound with another text, a lost description of the ceremonious reception given by Louis XII to Ferdinand at Savona, June 1507, is only known from a purchase receipt of Ferdinand Columbus. These leaflets are not always to be trusted as literal records. Some were compiled beforehand from the plans, and others after the event from fading memories. The authors or artists engaged in producing the books had by no means always seen the entry themselves. Roy Strong finds that they are an idealization of an event, often quite distant from its reality as experienced by the average onlooker. One of the objects of such publications was to reinforce by means of word and image the central ideas that motivated those who conceived the program. Philip II of Spain's ceremonial entry into Antwerp in 1549 was all but called off because of torrential rain, but the book shows it as it should have been. Thomas Dekker, the playwright and author of the book on the magnificent entertainment for James I of England, is refreshingly frank. Reader, you must understand that a regard being had that His Majesty should not be wearied with tedious speeches. A great part of those which are in this book set down were left unspoken, so that thou dost here receive them as they should have been delivered, not as they were. The Holy Roman Emperor, Maximilian I, went a step further, creating enormous virtual triumphs that existed solely in the form of print. The triumphs of Maximilian, begun in 1512 and unfinished at Maximilian's death in 1519, contains over 130 large woodcuts by Albrecht Dürer and other artists, showing a huge procession, still in open country, culminating in the emperor himself, mounted on a huge car. The Triumphal Arch, 1515, the largest print ever made, at 3.57 by 2.95 meters when the 192 sheets are assembled, was produced in an edition of 700 copies for distribution to friendly cities and princes. It was intended to be hand-colored and then pasted to a wall. Traditional tableau themes, including a large genealogy and many figures of virtues, are complemented by scenes of Maximilian's life and military victories. Maximilian was wary of entries in person, having been locked up by his loyal subjects in Bruges in 1488 for 11 weeks, until he could pay the bills from his stay. An early meeting between the festival book with trivial literature as the account of the visit in 1530 of the future Ferdinand I, Holy Roman Emperor, then King of Hungary and Bohemia, to Constantinople. Examples: C'est la deduction du sumptueux order plaisant spectacles et magnifiques theatres dresses. about entry into Rouen of Henry II and Catherine de' Medici. 1550. Festa nel Nos del Serenissimo Don Francesco Medici Granduca di Toscana, commemorating marriage of Francesco I de' Medici, Grand Duke of Tuscany, to Bianca Capello. 1578. Descrizione della festa fatta in Firenze, commemorating wedding of Ferdinando II de' Medici, Grand Duke of Tuscany. 1630s. Festivities included horse ballet, Pompa Introitus Ferdinandi Austriaci Hispaniarum Infantis in Urbem Antwerpen, describing Cardinal Infante Ferdinand of Austria's entry into Antwerp. 1635. Illustrated by Peter Paul Rubens. Pompa Funeral Honoris y Exequias en la Muerte de la muy alta y católica Señora Dona Isabel. On occasion of 1644 funeral of Queen Isabel de Bourbon of Spain. Courses de testes et de bague. On occasion of 1662 tournament in Paris, with engravings by Israel Silvestre and François Chauveau. Relation de la Festa de Versailles. Regarding Louis XIV's party in 1668 for Peace of Aix-la-Chapelle, with premiere of Molière's George Dandin. Narrazione della Solenne Reali Festa. Events in Naples for 1747. Birth of Infante Philip. Sacré couronnement de Louis XVI. Commemorating coronation of Louis XVI of France. 1775. Example at borough level. A true representation of the triumphal car, pulled by 4 horses, which conveyed Sir Francis Burdett to the Crown and Anchor Tavern, Strand, the 29th of June 1807, after his election as MP for Westminster. See also propaganda. Further reading. Fate books. Art of terpsichore. From Renaissance festivals to romantic ballets. Provo, Utah. Friends of the Brigham Young University Library. 1994 via Open Library. Edmund A. Bowles. Music in Court Festivals of State. Festival books as sources for performance practices. Early Music 28 thirds. August 2000. JSTOR 3,519,059. Helen Watanabe O'Kelly. The Early Modern Festival Book. Function and Form. MJ. R. Mulrine. Helen Watanabe O'Kelly and Margaret Schuring. eds. Europa Triumphans. Court and Civic Festivals in Early Modern Europe. Aldershot and Burlington, Vermont. Ashgate. 2004. Volume I. pp. 3-18. Thomas Rahn. 2006. Festbeschreibung. Function und Topik einer Textsort im Beispiel der Beschreibung Hofischer Hochzeiten. 1568–1794. In German. Walter de Gruyter. ISBN 9783110947328. Yelena Todorovich. 2006. An Orthodox Festival Book in the Habsburg Empire. Zaharia Orphalin's Festive Greeting to Mojse Putnik. 1757. Ashgate. Anna Milosevic. 2011. The festival book dedicated to the exchange of Austrian and Turkish deputations in 1719. In Charles Ingrao. Al. The Peace of Passarowitz. 1718. Purdue University Press. Marie Bordier. 2013. The Carousel of 1612 and the Festival Book. In Margaret M. McGowan. Dynastic Marriages. 1612–1615. A Celebration of the Habsburg and Bourbon Unions. Ashgate. Helen Watanabe O'Kelly. 2014. True and Historical Descriptions. European Festivals and the Printed Record. The Dynastic Centre and the Provinces. Agents and Interactions. Brill. p. 150+. ISBN 978-90-04-27209-5. Wolfenbüttel Thesaurus for early modern festival books. Herzog August Bibliothek. Archived from the original on 7 December 2013. Margaret McGowan. Festival books. Their status, purpose, and value. University of Warwick. Illustrated lecture. Festival books. Controlled vocabularies. Genre terms. USA. Association of College and Research Libraries. Rare Books and Manuscripts section. Duke University. German festival books. Collections. List of collections of festival books. Compiled by the British Library. Festival books. 253 books online from the British Library. Over 300 festival books. Mostly German from Herzog August Bibliothek Wolfenbüttel. In German. Getty Research Institute. California. Festivals collection. New York Public Library. Digital collections. Festival books. Anne S. K. Brown Military Collection. Brown University Library. USA. Includes a collection of festival books from the 16th century to the early 20th century.